Welcome to Say More, the podcast where we expand the conversation around what it means to be human. I'm Andy Spray, and I'm here with my co-host, Emily Lawyer, licensed professional counselor. We're answering your real questions, and while we're at it, creating a community where we can grow together and learn how to connect more to self in order to connect more to others and to connect more to God. Hi, Emily.
Hello.
How are you?
What's up, my nerds?
Wow.
We're going to nerd out today.
We're nerding out today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I can't wait. We are talking about attachment today.
Yes.
Which,
already a nerdy scientific word.
I was going to say, I'm not sure everybody in the listening audience will be familiar with the concept of attachment.
You are correct in that.
So it's kind of exciting. We get a lot to learn today.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's one of those things that even if you don't know the term for it, it's impacting you, right?
Well said. Way to kick us off.
Gold stars. Tell me I'm doing great. Tell me I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you so much. But, you know, the concept of being attached to something, we can all appreciate.
Sure.
Did you have any, like, heavy attachments growing up?
To like objects, even
to, like,
sure,
things.
like that's a thing for especially for little kids. I was a firstborn, and so I got all of my dad's affection because there was no other child.
What must that be like? I'm a fourthborn. So you'll have to describe it to me in terms I can understand.
What must that be like? So my dad loved to play with Matchbox cars. And I had a Dukes of Hazzard Matchbox car carrying case. And I can remember carrying that thing around with me everywhere. It was bright orange, had the General Lee on the front. And all of my little Matchbox cars were organized. It was
processing
perfect.
My response to
this.
It
was so perfect for a firstborn because it involved organization and my bond with my father.
And some light racism. It was the perfect combination.
You're not wrong.
Did you have any weird, like I'm not somebody who's like still has the stuffed animal that they slept with. Actually, I take that back. I do still have it in the house.
You do?
I do. But like I know people who literally still at 40 years old are like, this is my
have their Woody
or their whatever. My kids were weird attachers.
Okay.
Like I was thinking about my daughter when she was probably like 3 and we went to a fall festival and she adopted a dried corn cob that she insisted on sleeping with.
Did she name it?
I don't know. I'm calling him Cobby. But I don't know that but it was like we had to keep it in her bed until all the kernels eventually fell off. And then it was time for Cobby to go. And then my son, and he was even older, his favorite thing that he carried with him everywhere was a plastic blue hanger that he named Cape. He's like, "Where's my cape?" We'd be like, "Hold on, we can't turn the car around. We don't have cape."
Okay, this is so perfect though, in a lot of ways there is no explaining attachment.
Yeah,
it's a mystery in a lot of ways, and what we gravitate towards from the outside eye can seem like a head scratcher.
It's like when ducks imprint on things.
Wait, what?
Do you know about imprinting?
No, this is one of your deep dives.
Well, okay. I do love a Wikipedia deep dive. No, but it's like that's how ducks...
What do you mean imprint?
Certain animals, it's like who they look at, they like imprint on you and they create a bond with you.
Oh, okay.
And if something in their normal process gets interrupted, like they're abandoned or their mother gets killed, they can imprint.
It's called an imprint? Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that. Like Punch the Monkey.
Punch the Monkey, who's being abused in more ways than one, poor Punch, but he imprinted on a stuffed animal. Yeah.
Yes.
So my son imprinted on a plastic hanger. And we don't know why. I still have Cape. He's grown out of Cape. But I kept it because I want to hand that off someday and be like, do you remember when your best friend was a plastic hanger?
It's so sweet.
But, you know, we attach as adults. It's not like it goes away.
No.
Because I was thinking, too, about like parasocial attachments. So like celebrities.
Yes.
Or like internet
for sure.
influencers or things that you become like oddly
kind
attached
of obsessed
to.
With.
Yes.
What comes to mind for you?
Well, I was thinking, I don't think I'm fall in this trap too much, But I was like, have you ever been like really devastated by a celebrity marriage as if you know these people?
Like it ending?
Yes.
I don't know that I remember being devastated by one ending, but I do remember a really weird celebrity couple that I to this day, I can't explain it. I think I was in 6th grade, and you remember the Scholastic Book Fairs where you could go?
Of course. I loved the Scholastic Book Fairs. Actually, as an adult, it was my favorite job at school is I volunteer at
the Scholastic Book Fair?
Yes. I love running the register.
Well, I was a big reader, so I think a lot of my celebrity couples were literary.
Oh,
but
boy.
I
okay.
bought
Back to your nerd comment from earlier.
Listen.
Heathcliff and Kathy, are those your celebrity breakups that you're still mourning?
No, but I do know who that is.
Of course you do.
No, I bought a book that was Joni Loves Chachi.
Oh, my gosh.
And then I was...
So many 70s references today.
I don't even think I even had seen that show. I don't know why. It must have been the cover drew me to the book or something. And I read that book over. I remember I got in trouble in church once for reading it. My mom's like, put that Joni Loves Chachi book away. I don't know why.
Scott Baio has no place in this church. I was going to say Amy Poehler and Will Arnett breaking up. That one still hurts.
That was a heartbreaker.
I think somebody told me, they're like, do you listen to her podcast? Which, of course, I do. Uh-huh. And they're like, she says say more a lot. I bet she listens to you. And I thought, I'm not quite that unhinged, but maybe someday, Amy. Maybe someday. I've literally had dreams we're friends. I believe in us. I believe we could do it. But yeah, those become these weird things. Yeah. I mean, my family, I know, can tell you they think I'm too attached to Jerry Orbach.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Well, I mean...
Life of a legend.
We could probably do some psychoanalyzing around it.
Okay. All right. It's fine. Cool. I'm
not judging. I'm again back to the object. It's just sometimes it's a head scratcher.
Yeah,
I'm not going to divulge those right now, but I have revealed to you some of my head scratchers, and you've had the same response.
That is true
with me as with Jerry Orbach.
I want to be clear; it's not a romantic attachment.
Yeah, right.
It has its own place because he also reminds me of my grandfather. So we could really do some deep work around that. But I do sometimes get attached to things and not want to give them away. Mm-hmm. And then I wondered, is hoarding an attachment? We're too deep in the episode. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But, this is just some light attachment banter before we're going to play a game.
Okay.
And this is a game that you and I love and my husband hates, so I don't get to play it very much.
Good thing he's not here.
It's a good thing he's not here. And it is similar to, but for legal reasons, not the game called Encore.
Oh. Okay.
Similar, but not exactly the same as the game Encore, if you were to look that game up, where you pick a word and you sing as many songs back and forth as you can think of with that word.
With that particular word.
And we're going to use some attachment words.
Okay, this sounds fun.
So
I like
fun.
it already.
And no spoilers. We didn't practice this.
Okay.
This is going to be like the time that we played the game similar to, but for legal reasons, not Mad Gab, where the people at home did much better than us.
Okay.
But I want you to know I'm okay with that because I have secure attachment.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'll let you go first.
Okay.
Our first attachment word, and we'll see how many we get. We won't let it go on forever.
Okay.
Is love.
Oh, this is easy.
Too easy. Okay. Well, prove it then.
Light
it's
lifting.
Too easy.
We could go on a 7-hour road trip and not run out of love songs. Silly love songs. Paul McCartney.
No, you have to sing it.
Oh, I don't think we can do that.
For legal reasons?
I think so. Silly love songs. Haven't you had too many silly love songs? You know that Paul McCartney song.
Sure, I do. We can't sing it because that throws off my whole balance.
We could probably get away with a couple of words.
All you need is love.
Oh, that's a great one. Da, 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 da.
Now you go.
Okay. Love Me Do. Boy,
it just could all be the Beatles.
Clearly, we are big Beatles fans.
I love you.
A bushel and a peck. I got another one.
See, when you're on the spot, it's not as easy as it sounds.
I have another one. Taylor Swift. Love Story.
Okay.
It's a love story. Baby, just say yes. You're already...
What? No, I can think of them. I Want to Love You Forever.
Jessica Simpson?
Yes.
Like, that's okay if you don't want to try to sing
I don't want to try and sing that one. I can picture the video, though.
Love makes the world go round. Is that a song?
That's a saying. Judges.
Love is a mini splendored thing.
No, that was the one I was going to say.
You were really going to say love is a mini splendored thing?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, but I have another one.
Okay.
Love lift us up where we belong.
I love that song.
Of course you do.
I've done karaoke with that song before.
Obviously. Okay. All right. We'll move on from love. I got another real good one for you.
Okay.
This one we could do a lot of. Baby.
Justin Bieber. Baby, baby, baby. Actually, ooh. I'm sorry for all you Bieber fans out there. I'm not really a fan of Justin Bieber, but that's an earworm.
Baby, I'm amazed at the way you love me all the time. I really can't leave the Fab Four. That's sort of my home base for music.
Back to Sir Paul.
Yeah.
Baby, where did our love go? Baby, baby, where did our love go?
Supremes.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say, baby, it's you, sha-la-la-la-la.
Oh, another 60s song? Mm-hmm. Baby, this one. Do you fast forward through this part in Dumbo? Baby Mine?
First of all, I won't watch Dumbo because it's awful. But yes, with the mother elephant, come on. We don't need that type of sadness at the beginning of the episode. Save that for the meat, Emily. Yes, okay. That one's really sad. 'Cause you'll always be my baby.
Do-do-do. Oh, we love Mariah. Baby Shark. Okay, I think we might have to end there.
We're going to stop, baby.
I'm embarrassing myself. Here I was bragging about how good I am at this game.
Last one,
Baby Shark.
Last one, and it's going to be a spoiler alert for some of our attachment theories. Leave.
JoJo, leave. She has a song called Leave. Get out right now.
Does she say the word leave in it, though?
Yes, in the background, she's going leave. Yeah.
All right, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Leave. See, again, it's hard when you're on the spot, and I didn't practice. This proves it.
Okay.
If you were to leave me now, isn't that something?
Take away another part of me. Oh, man. Matt's going to be so disappointed in us.
Is that Chicago? Sorry. I'm sorry, Matt.
Okay, here we go. A little bit of a deep dive to my school bus days. Lesson in leaving, Miss Jody Messina.
I don't even know what those words are.
Somebody better give you a lesson in leaving. Somebody better give you back what you've been given. And I know that I'm around to watch them knock you down. There have to be some 90s country fans out there.
Oh, is it 90s country?
It's very, very 90s country.
I don't know that.
I'm still, as I'm watching you, I'm thinking, boy, I need to be thinking myself. Leave.
I know, leave is hard.
Leave.
Leave.
No. People, and of course, people listening, they have 50 songs right now. Leave. There's got to be an Elton John song. Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving on a jet plane.
Oh, that's a good one, too. See, we just came up with two more.
We just came up with it. And we're going to stop the carnage now. We're going to go ahead and put an end to the bleeding. And we're going to say, that's enough of our game for today. But you're going to have 1,000 other ones. And here's what I know to be true about this game. As your day goes on, you will think of them all. You're going to have 800 leave songs that you're going to text me. That's my prediction before the day is over. Send them to us. You, Emily, text them to me. You, listening audience, put them somewhere. Social media, show, whatever. This is what happened with Mad Gabs. People constantly were like, oh, that was so obvious. But, it's not as obvious when you're in the hot seat. So we'll say the game ball goes to you, listeners. And we'll move into our question. All right. Our question this week was a write-in question, and I'm going to read it for us. It says, how do I process my childhood and how it affects my parenting and relationships now?
How do I process my childhood and how it affects my parenting and maybe even other relationships now. Another really great question from our Say More community, because it indicates such good self-reflection and ownership. This question is asking about basically how to love well, right? Like, what are there things that get in the way of me loving well? How do I love well in my relationships, whether that's as a parent, whether that's as a spouse or a partner or a friend? And because we often incorporate the spiritual in this podcast, maybe even my relationship with God is coming into play in this question. And this question is also recognizing that there is a connection between what I experienced as a kid and how I show up in my relationships now. That what I don't heal from my childhood, I am not just likely to repeat, but I am destined to repeat.
Yeah, this is an A-star pupil because they've already figured out that whatever happened then is going to come up again now.
Amazing awareness.
Yeah.
And I know I tell you almost every episode, I'm so excited for this episode. But it really is true, because I love being part of a community that shows up curious in this way, that shows up with these types of curiosities and questions, that this community that recognizes the complexity of what it means to be human, and then also is committed to growing into more of who God has created us to be. Okay, so clearly there's tons of things in childhood that could show up in my current relationships. We have lots of episodes where we've stepped into that. But we're going to use this question today to open up an additional concept, one thing that gets formed in our families that maybe has a bit of extra drive to it. We might even call it hyper activating. It's a hot topic on social media as of late. If you're a big fan of the show Love is Blind, this concept shows up a lot in that show. If you are a big Taylor Swift fan, as our game indicated, pretty much any song that has to deal with love or relationships involves this concept. If you liked the show Parenthood, which you and I both did, if you, honestly, any genre, and this is going to be a key component, and it's a framework that in the counseling world we call attachment.
So it's everywhere, and you didn't even know what it was called.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So where should we start? Maybe just a basic definition?
Yeah, let us know. What does it even mean?
Okay, let's just start with the definition of attachment. Basically, it's a bond, a relational bond, similar to what we were saying earlier, with my Matchbox cars. It's formed by unseen forces in infancy. And it is so strong that it develops an imprint in our nervous system that determines how we relate. And then we develop what we call a style of how we give or show love and how we can receive love. So it ends up forming our beliefs and our expectations about relating. It ends up forming what we're used to or what we're most familiar with when it comes to relationships. God designed us to need connection. And the first place that happens, or doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Is with our parents.
Okay.
Our earliest caregivers. Now, when I'm saying connection, I don't just mean the kind of connection of, oh, it's so fun to hang out. When we're infants, connection with our caregivers is literally life and death. I can't feed myself as an infant. I can't pay my own rent. I can't protect myself from danger. If I don't have attachment to a caregiver, I will not survive, which means that this imprint that we're talking about on our nervous system is also, it's as high stakes as it gets.
So we're talking from the earliest formations going on. If we are not connected to a caretaker.
Yep.
I mean, like you said, it's as high stakes as we need it for survival.
It's literally life and death high stakes.
So what do you mean by connection? Can you give us a little bit more there, like what's involved?
What's involved with connection? Yeah, great question. Okay, so when we're talking about attachment or the type of connection that we would name as attachment, we use 4 words to describe that type of connection. It's how I felt safe, how I felt seen, how I felt soothed, and how I felt secure. How I felt safe, seen, soothed, and secure. The 4 S's. We call those attachment needs. And they show up primarily in how my internal needs were handled. I mean, my emotional needs are certainly connected to my physical needs and even my spiritual needs, but the attachment bond is more comprehensive, involving the internal needs. Okay, so let's talk about some examples. It might have shown up in my parents' desire and ability to read what was happening for me on the inside, like my parents' ability or capacity to kind of notice what was happening with my emotions at any given moment, or what was happening with my internal beliefs. Remember, we used way back in episode 1, we used a big word for this type of capacity, for this type of recognition. We call it attunement. So to what degree was mom able to...
our caregivers attuned?
Okay. So we're kind of looking at, all right, well, to what degree was mom able to attune to my emotional state? Or to what degree was mom able to pay sufficient attention to my emotional state? To what degree was dad able to attune to my emotional state or pay sufficient attention to my emotional state? Maybe for some of us, you had additional caregivers that were involved early on. To what degree was grandma able to attune to my emotional state? I've mentioned before, I worked for a long time as a live-in nanny, and there was an attachment bond formed between me and my charge because it was at a young age. And so that relationship, not quite the same as what she would have had from birth, but definitely there was an attachment that formed there because I was a primary caregiver in her life.
Early childhood educators as well.
Yes, exactly. A teacher, again, to different degrees.
Right.
But certainly part of that. I'm fond of quoting Kurt Thompson. He's a brilliant psychiatrist and researcher and author. He says, to kind of describe this need, he says, we are born looking for someone looking for us.
Ooh, that's cool. Say that again.
We are born looking for someone looking for us.
I like that.
That is designed in us by God to be seeking that type of attachment or that type of connection literally from birth. Now, let's say maybe that I received the attunement. Maybe the people around me were able to kind of recognize or notice. We might also explore in those attachment needs, well, what happened next? What did my caregivers do with what they noticed? To what degree did I experience care? Or to what degree maybe did I experience control around what was happening with my internal needs? To what degree did I experience curiosity? Or to what degree did I experience shame for what was happening with those internal needs? To what degree did I experience calm when those internal needs were surfacing? Or to what degree did I experience chaos when those internal needs were surfacing? Or, was my caregiver able to attune to my heart to the degree that I had a felt experience of someone being with me in the moment, not just like a cognitive exercise, right? Or not just someone is with me intellectually or in concept or words, but a felt experience that involves my body, my mind, my soul, a felt experience that I am not alone right now in what I'm internally experiencing. Nothing creates a deeper imprint of safe, seen, soothed, and secure than that type of felt experience. It results in secure brain and nervous system development for a child like nothing else.
Do we need to sit there for a second?
Yes, I think that's a lot for us to kind of just sit with.
Yeah, because I would imagine a lot of things are kind of coming up.
And a lot of things are probably coming up. So in other arenas, maybe people pause for a dance break, or people pause for a coffee break. In the same war community, we pause for a shame break.
Okay, let's take a quick shame break, everybody. I'm going to do a tight 5 shame break.
A type 5.
You could recognize what's coming up for you.
Shame and grief, right? Because we're talking about things that are tender.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of certainly everybody can relate to their own childhood.
Yes.
And then you have the addition, if you are a parent,
yes,
you're thinking of your children and how well you've been able to meet these needs.
Completely. And maybe
or a caregiver.
Right. And maybe you're noticing some shame or some grief is coming up for you, because just even listening to this podcast, being with us in this podcast, that is a sign that you're doing some really, really good work right now to own what is yours to own. You are practicing amazing self-reflection, amazing compassionate curiosity, and spending some time reflecting on your own story. And when we do that work, sometimes those painful emotions can come up. Also, maybe as you're reflecting, you're noticing, oh, I definitely had some deficiencies in the way my attachment needs were met. We're going to name that. We're going to, like we're doing right now, we're going to pause for some sadness and disappointment to come up, to honor that. Maybe you're a parent, like you were just saying, and you have stopped thinking about yourself at all. All your brain can go to is the shame that you're feeling about your deficiencies as a parent. Oh no, I've screwed it up. I've ruined it all and I didn't even know it. Or maybe your shame is bringing up some defensiveness to protect that vulnerability. And you are 1 millisecond away from cursing me out and switching over to Smartless or Theo Vaughn. So same thing. Let's name that and bring a lot of acceptance to it. It would make sense that you might be feeling some of those things. Okay, hang with me. I promise not all is lost. It's just that we have to name the reality of these things in order to get where we're going.
And I imagine that it's because we're human, it's probably nearly impossible that anybody has perfectly met all these needs, had all of this provided for them, has provided this entirely for their own charges.
Bullseye.
And so I dare say the $1 million question is, what happens when those attachment needs are not fully met?
Which, again, this is
probably
an
true
all
for everyone.
Skate. This is everybody is in the pool with this. We are imperfect humans raised by imperfect humans in an imperfect world. Nobody gets all of this perfectly. So ideally, again, if we're just kind of, using it for assessment, for measurement, ideally, I get to feel safe, seen, soothed, and secure through sufficient attunement or sufficient responsiveness and engagement with my internal world. Ideally, I get to feel safe, seen, soothed, and secure through my caregiver has an ability to stay with my big emotions. And maybe also my caregiver has an ability to make a sufficient repair when there's a rupture or an attachment tear that happens in the relationship. But yeah, like you're saying, nobody gets that every time. Nobody has, and nobody ever will.
100% of the time.
100% of the time.
Right.
And again, we're going to give a lot of space to grieve that.
Okay.
That's important for us to not just kind of blow past it and say, it's sad. There's disappointment there. There's heartbreak there.
Grief pause.
There, I just want to give plenty of time, right, for us to name that.
Right, because everybody is coming to this with some level of grief.
With some level of grief. And God grieves that with us, too. This world is not as it's supposed to be, and it is hard to be a human. He knows that. We are also designed to survive in a hard world. So when those needs don't get met, we adapt. Now, you might be saying, okay, I don't understand, Emily. I definitely did not get attunement, but I still grew up and I got married and I had kids and things seemed to be fine. Correct, because you adapted.
Okay.
Okay?
As I like to say, it's not just good, it's good enough.
That's right.
It's good enough. Sometimes.
Yes.
That's where we land.
We adapt.
Yeah.
So over time, because humans are wondrously unique and also remarkably predictable, scientific research has been able to track what those adaptations look like and then categorize them into what we would call an attachment style. Okay? Now, I'm going to really simplify this, but these categories we name as secure attachment and insecure attachment. Insecure attachment, we break into 3 subcategories: avoidant insecure attachment, anxious insecure attachment, and disorganized insecure attachment. And if you are a human on this earth, you fall somewhere in one of those 3.
Because nobody is insecure attachment?
Nobody has perfectly secure attachment.
Okay.
We all have some level of insecure attachment.
And you're more likely to be in one of those 3 categories?
You will be in one of those 3 categories.
You will for sure.
You will for sure.
Is there any overlap between them? Or
Yes.
it's like
Well, the way it's easiest for me to kind of picture it, it's on a spectrum.
Okay.
Okay. So to the degree that we had to adapt is to the degree that we land on the spectrum.
Okay. So the more you had to adapt, the sort of deeper into the spectrum you're going to be.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if we've got perfectly secure attachment on one end of the spectrum and highest degree of insecure attachment on the other end of the spectrum, and then we all fall somewhere in between.
Okay.
Okay? No one is at the most perfect end of the secure attachment spectrum, and no one ever will be. To the degree that my attachment is insecure is to the degree that I've had to develop those adaptations. Okay. And those adaptations are what end up costing me something in my relationships now. In my parenting, my romantic relationships, my friendships, even in my relationship with God. Like some of you might be listening right now, and maybe you have found yourself in the boat where you have been frustrated in your relationship with God. I'm reading my Bible, I'm going to church, I'm practicing all these disciplines, and it doesn't seem to be hitting the way that I want it to hit. And so what do? I just try to practice more of those disciplines.
Right.
Could be that maybe some more of that can affect that relationship. It also could be, to what we're naming today, that your adaptations that were formed in response to early childhood woundings are getting in the way of being able to relate to God in the way that you want to. They get in the way of intimacy, of emotional intimacy. And so that's a big part of what we do in this podcast is to try to zoom out the periscope and let us look at these things maybe a little more comprehensively.
And to go back to our question, when this listener is saying, how does my childhood impact my parenting and relationships now? Sounds like the adaptations are probably what you're talking about.
Correct.
That's what's going to impact your relationships now.
Correct.
From any kind of level of social relationships, parenting relationships.
Correct.
Romantic relationships.
Correct.
Can you tell us what those adaptations look like?
Yes.
And, attachment styles, could you break down those
what they look like?
Ones a little bit for us?
All right, let's explore that. And remember, these are on a spectrum.
Okay.
So you might resonate with one of these, but to the degree of intensity that I experience it, that might indicate where I am kind of on the spectrum of adaptation. And also these show up differently in different relational context. So they show up the most intensely in romantic relationships because those are the relationships that are the most vulnerable. So those are the ones that to my nervous system would feel most like my relationship to my parents. Those are the ones that are going to feel
interesting to me.
Again, you have to go not from a outside, viewpoint, but from what's happening with my nervous system. Right.
Okay.
So when that vulnerability is happening, that's the romantic relationship is what's going to mimic most those high stakes life and death nervous system danger responses.
And your romantic relationships are going to feel more of that high stakes kind of warning bell.
And we're not being hyperbolic.
Interesting.
To my nervous system, it feels like life or death.
Which, of course, as an infant, it was life or death.
Exactly.
And so very interesting.
Exactly. But it also shows up in parenting and also in friendships and my relationship with God. So I might land on one place in the spectrum when I'm with my partner, but then I might land on another place in the spectrum in my friendships. All right. Now, I guarantee also you are going to hear these and you are going to try and diagnose someone who you love as much as you can. Stay in the self-reflection lane because remember...
But I'd much prefer to put this on somebody else. I don't want to reflect on myself.
No, the biggest factor in changing any relationship is controlling what I can control, which is me. Okay. So if I land in the avoidant category, which I actually personally do, that's where I skew. My adaptations might be marked by high levels of independence, or handling my emotions on my own. It would feel most familiar to be safe, seen, soothed, and secure by myself on my own. I might try to push people away or withdraw or shut down when I'm experiencing big feelings. It's often marked by being uncomfortable with my own emotions. As a parent, avoidant attachment might show up as having trouble being emotionally available for or unresponsive for my child, especially if my child is in a highly vulnerable state or a highly needy state, like extra tired or extra hungry, big emotions that are coming up. If I land in the anxious attachment category, I might seek constant assurance or reassurance from my romantic partner, or I might seek constant affection, or even that can show up in friendships as well. I might have trouble being by myself. So I end up succumbing to harmful relationships. If you've ever wondered, why does J-Lo keep going back to Ben Affleck? Chances are...
keeps me up at night.
It's probably an anxious attachment style that's showing up. Anxious attachment usually likes to get really close to a new person really fast. Or they might have high levels of worry or fear about the relationship going away.
Trying so hard not to diagnose anybody. Trying really hard.
So anxious attachment often chases or pursues in a relationship. As a parent, my anxious attachment style is often marked by inconsistency. I might be really responsive in one moment and then completely unavailable the next moment. Okay, do you hear some opposites in these descriptions, right?
Needing outside reassuring versus going to yourself
going
all the
internal
time.
with it. Okay, so you know what happens as a result?
What?
Avoidant usually marries anxious.
It's a match made in heaven.
It's a match made in heaven. It's why we say opposites attract.
One runs away and one runs toward.
Listen, so many people listening right now are saying...
They're going to be like, that makes sense.
Are describing my relationship. Underneath, even though from the outside we say, oh, look, opposites attract. Underneath, it's like attracting like. It's insecure attracts insecure. Ooh. That's what's happening. But that's just a bonus. That's too much for us to get into.
I'm going to say something. Okay. I just went away last weekend with my college best friends. They are all friends of the pod. Hello, ladies, because I know you're listening. And they're all like, oh, we love Emily. Can Emily come? Emily's so great. We want to be friends with Emily. And I want to tell you, it is all fun and games till she clocks your attachment style 30 seconds into dinner. And she can read your marriage like a book. Okay? Maybe best friend therapist is less fun then.
Exactly true.
Everybody wants Emily to be their best friend. And then when she gently suggests some insecure attachment wound, wounds in a loving way.
Right. Which I often, I'm right there along with you.
Right there with you.
I have named that even for myself. But
just saying, when you can, she can smell it on you.
It's true.
Don't think she doesn't know. Okay, she doesn't have to meet your husband. She already knows which kind you are. All right, and he is. She already knows.
That's too good. Okay, moving on to disorganized attachment.
Disorganized, tell us.
So we're moving farther up the spectrum towards more the insecure end, okay? Disorganized attachment style is a rapidly oscillating experience of both.
Oh, interesting.
Might look like very intense attraction or intimacy and then very intense lashing out. Okay? Because for a person who develops a disorganized attachment style, childhood meant the same person who was the source of love was also a source of extreme fear or extreme absence. Incredibly painful attachment wounding. So because that was what the childhood experience looked like, trying to figure out how to get safe, seen, soothed, and secure as an adult is a chaotic endeavor. And then the same level of chaos plays out in those relationships. It sort of swings between extreme levels of love and then extreme levels of hate. In caregiving or parenting, it might show up as those same kind of tumultuous variations. Okay, I have linked a lot of resources in our show notes for today that go much more into depth about all of these things. Some of my favorite books, some of my favorite podcasts, to help you continue to practice curiosity about your own story and your own adaptations, which brings us to, okay, what do we do with all this?
Yeah, so you sort of drop some bombs here. What do we do with it?
What do we do with all this? Let's start with some hope.
Okay, please.
All right. My attachment style does not define me. It does not indicate my worth or my value, and it is not a foregone conclusion. It is not my destiny. If you watch Love is Blind, they're going to try to convince you otherwise. Well, I just have anxious attachment. This is why I can't be in a relationship with you.
Do people on Love is Blind actually say the words anxious attachment?
They're starting to, because this has become, like I said,
the therapy talk is seeping in.
It's entering so much into the vernacular. These buzzwords are getting kind of thrown around.
And they say, I can't, I'm sorry, this is just who I am.
This is just who I am.
Anxious attachment.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
One of the most exciting things that we've also learned in research is that my attachment style can change. It is malleable.
Really?
Yes. It can move closer to the secure attachment end of the spectrum, even as an adult.
Really? Even when my childhood is over?
Yes.
I can gain back security.
We call it an earned secure attachment.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
That is hopeful.
And this is happening every single session I have with every single client. I see proof of this every single day. Also, if you are a parent and you are in full overwhelm right now, let me share my favorite definition of secure attachment parenting. Okay? Secure attachment parenting happens when I can offer instant access without continuous presence.
Okay,
instant access without continuous presence.
Meaning what?
I can't be with my child 24 hours a day.
Right.
It's not even good for me to be with my child 24 hours a day. But when I am with my child, especially when they are in need of attunement, that responsiveness, that recognition of what's happening in their internal world, an interaction with those attachment needs results in a felt experience of connection. Somebody's with me and I can, in my body, mind, and soul, can feel that. If I can provide that, I am doing amazing work to create secure attachment. And I'm talking 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night. You can see incredible results from that type of interaction. However, in order to do that, in order to provide that type of instant
Can I make
access,
a guess?
Go ahead.
We have to have a regulated, secure nervous system to provide that?
That's it. I have to do my own work.
There's the rub.
There's the rub. I have to do my own work. And as we're fond of saying, the best gift I can give anyone is to do my own work, to own what's mine to own in my story. Here's the great news that we're going to end with today. If you are part of the Say More community, congratulations. You've already been doing that. Every single episode that we've done contributes in some way to that earned, secure attachment. It helps me show up as empathetic. It helps me be more confident in setting appropriate boundaries. It allows me to directly communicate what I need. It allows my nervous system and my body to stay less anxious and more comfortable feeling my feelings. I'm able to stay with other people's emotions, or able to grieve my losses, or able to interact with my shame in a compassionate way, to make repairs or apologies more easily. Every single episode that we have done is contributing to that experience of bringing those childhood woundings out of isolation and into relationship, into compassionate care. And all of that allows me to connect to myself and God and others more deeply.
I love that. And if you're here, you're already a Gold Star student.
That's it.
Because you're already along for the ride. And hey, we're cheaper than real therapy. So may this be dipping your toe in the water, or, to hold you over between sessions. Because you're obviously, if you're here, you're willing to do some inward curiosity, some compassionate curiosity, as Emily likes to say, and to bring those wounds out into the light to get some healing. And we're so glad you're here with us, because guess what? We're doing it right along with you. This is not, something that we've achieved clearly, or I'll speak for myself. Maybe Emily's a little ahead of the game, but we are all journeying together. We're so thankful you're here. Make sure you're checking out the show notes for a list of books and resources to better understand this very complicated but also very interwoven topic. You can submit questions. We want to hear from you. Social media is up and running, so make sure you check that out. And you can leave comments and any kind of thing you want so that you can stay a part of this community. And we are so thankful you are here with us, and we're going to see you next time.